All right, NorCal Karters, we're back, and we're just wrapping up the day at Blue Max Kart Club and the Track Magic reunion. And I have with me right now Greg Yanazzo. Did I say that right?
You got it.
Greg Yanazzo and Joe Fong. And so this one's going to be kind of a different little interview because Greg Yanazzo is a little bit newer to the sprint karting scene, and Joe Fong's not so new to the sprint karting scene. And Greg, why don't you introduce yourself? Say hello.
Hey, my name is Greg Yanazzo. My karting background is outlaw go-karts.
All right. So like QRCs?
QRCs, all the way, buddy.
Okay.
That's it.
Honda CR500? Or
Honda CR500 with a George Becker engine on it.
George Becker. Is he also known as Grandpa George?
He's also known as Grandpa George.
All right. And Joe Fong, why don't you introduce yourself? What is your karting background?
My karting background, I guess I started, well, first of all, I was a skateboarder for Fausto back in the day, back in like 77, and quite a few years later he came out with a magazine, and I noticed that the
Thrasher
magazine,
yeah.
And he had a go-kart ad in the back. I go, Fausto, what the heck is this, a go-kart ad? I'm surprised, and he said, well, I own it, so I need you to stop by and check it out. So I went down to the Bayview District in the Naval Yard, and I seen the go-karts, and I seen it, and I go, oh my god, I want to drive one. So what happened was I ended up getting one, and but first of all, he told me I would have to drive all the way to Dixon.
Way out there. Way out to Dixon.
It's a long haul from the bay,
So those who don't know, Dixon from Track Magic would have been 60 or 70 miles. Maybe 80.
Yeah, it seemed like it would be...
Yeah, it was a trek back in the day.
And you had to... As soon as you get off the freeway, you have to drive several miles...
In
the single-lane roads and stuff, so...
Still that way.
Still that way.
Oh, yes.
Ardell Park.
Yeah, the Kinsman Kart Club is pretty much in the backyard is Travis Air Force Base.
Correct. And pretty much that track would just... I went there and I just put hours and hours in to learn the basic karting, and I pretty much started from the Yamaha 100 novice sportsman class, and I started probably 96, and I worked my way up each class, and I went all the way to 99. That's when I got into the shifter class, and I started doing really well in the club races, and
that would have been the Honda CR80?
Correct.
Yeah, Honda CR80. That was huge in the 90s.
Yeah, the turnouts, on the club races, they were like 18 to 26.
Per class, not not total entries, people.
Correct.
Per class.
And so I did pretty well in the club races, and then Fausto goes, oh, the Super Nationals are coming up, and I want you to race that. I go, what? With the big boys? He goes, I don't give a shit. I just want you to race. So when I went there, I said, for sure, I'll just go for it. My mindset was just, I'll try my best, and I just told myself, if I make it to the main event, Super Sunday, I'll be so darn happy. And what I did was I just race, and I worked my way, and I made it to Super Sunday.
Wow.
Nice.
And, out of like 75 shifter drivers, I made it, all the way to the main event, and I didn't do too well because I got a little more aggressive near the end, and I sort of put myself and some other drivers out. So, but it was a great learning experience, and it's nice to race with the best of the best at Super Nationals.
Yeah, those were some great races back then. And so you guys came out today. Joe, I know you're out here more from the reunion standpoint. And Greg, you're out here.
As well as I am.
You are as well?
My story real quick.
Okay.
So he's talking about Fausto, and I got involved probably in 1989, 90 with Track Magic. I was ahead of everybody else. And a friend of mine, John Giffen, and another friend of mine, Kurt Crail, basically made it apparent that we were there to go win races.
Okay.
And Fausto was running the dirt operation with a dude named Vince Black, and we were running KT100s. Well, the first year I would have I would have won the championship, but I kind of got in an altercation with somebody, and they put me down for a race.
Okay.
And the next year, we went out and waxed them with 32 wins at Sand Hill and all over the state. And we raced pretty chronic that year and won a lot of stuff. But then at the end of the year, I had an opportunity to go off and run midgets. But I am the first official with a Track Magic suit on guy to win a Track Magic championship.
Well, you told me you were a dirt guy, so Track Magic started in dirt?
They did. We ran Sand Hill Speedway in Livermore.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they were running prior to that too much, but that's where I was able to pick it up at. And I ran only 2 years with them, but we won a lot of races.
Okay.
And it was good stuff.
Yeah, no, that's good history that I was not aware about with the Track Magic.
Right.
Because when I saw him come on scene in the 90s, it was KT100s,
right.
CR80s, sprint tracks. And that's a good little piece of history there. Thank you.
We were all really interested in also doing the sprint karting as well, but the offers I was starting to get to go race other cars was on dirt was picking up. So we did like 10 more years of sprint cars and midgets before going off and helping some friends in the World Outlaws.
Well, you got to chase a dream, right?
Yeah. And then we eventually got back to the Outlaw Go-Karts.
And then full circle back to Blue Max Kart Club.
Which has been a complete eye-opener for me, a dirt guy, to come out here and try to learn how to keep up. These guys have been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
It was a real fun. It took us a long time to get the cart. It took us quite a bit of time to get it ready. And I'm very particular about how things are supposed to go when we get here. And it went off without a hitch. I've driven like 300 laps this weekend or something. I don't even know.
Oh, nice.
I was on the track the entire day yesterday.
I think I drove 3.0 laps this weekend.
Well, but you're the guy. It's all good.
I was still slow. Yeah, so I mean, today was great. I know you guys, were you out here 2 days?
Yes.
We got here Friday.
Well, actually,
Friday.
You were here Friday night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you guys got the party started early.
Oh, yes, we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And no, I mean, this kind of stuff is just great. And we already had Kyle Martin on. We had Jason Lapointe. I'm going to keep highlighting these guys because they came from out of state
right
to this reunion thing,
which is super impressive. I love that.
It is. It turned out to be bigger and better probably than what people would have anticipated or imagined.
We travel coast to coast with the Outlaw Karts. This trailer's been Charlotte 3 or 4 times now, and so we actually get out and travel with it. Guerrilla Barbecue, because of living in Pacifica.
Shout out to Big Rich.
Yep.
And Big Rich.
Guerrilla Barbecue is definitely the reason why I'm doing this, because Guerrilla Rich is my good buddy at home, and we hang out in the garage, and we just do all this in the garage at my house.
Okay.
So that's how I'm involved.
So you're out on the peninsula?
Yeah, I live in Pacifica as well.
Nice.
Yes.
Very good. Yeah, no, it's just a great event, and, I wanted to I wanted to get some of the old factory guys. I wanted to definitely get Joe Fong on. I met you at the last reunion.
Yep.
And, trying to get everyone's different perspective, because we all come from different aspects of karting.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know.
And it's been a lot of fun.
Yes.
So, Joe, give me one. What's your favorite memory from this weekend?
From this weekend, just to see Kyle come from Texas and, to see Oliver and, Gary Carlton and Jason Lapointe and Gary Lapointe.
Yeah, Landon Yee was out here.
Landon Yee showed up, and just to see all of them together and to get on the track, they were just feeding off each other.
Yeah.
They are so competitive, and they were just pushing each other, and I could just see them looking at their watches and their phones on the times, and they were watching where they were shifting.
It was more fun than
everybody was just
else,
feeding off each other, how they took downshift certain turns where they put on the brakes at the how far deep, and they were just feeding, and by the end of the day they were just so happy just to be together.
Yeah, there's a few moments I was thinking, I should grab my camera or my video and get recording, because there was a couple of moments where someone would come off the track, they'd hop out, they kind of powwow around the cart and chat. And it's like, well, do I want to record this? Do I want to share it? Or no, this is their moment, right? And then at that moment, they probably forgot anyone was even around or watching.
Right.
And they were like you just said, they were critiquing each other and giving each other feedback, how to get around the track faster. And this is supposed to be a play day.
Yes.
It's supposed to be a play day, and then the competition comes out.
Will never...
Hey, that was my spice rub!
Gorilla Barbecue Spice Rub.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the stuff, man. You got to put that stuff on everything. Gorilla Barbecue Rub is like, I don't know, heaven. I put it on my ramen. I put it on my eggs. I put it on everything, man. Yep.
Now, Greg, what was one of your highlights from this weekend?
Man, I got to tell you, since I'm not all kumbaya reminiscing, which kind of is at a disadvantage, you know, I felt humbled by the whole experience, but I'm going to have to say that yesterday when I started mentioning we might have some weather and I got the reaction I did from everybody sort of negatively that it wasn't going to happen, I just waited for it and that tornado happened.
Yeah.
And I shot a bunch of video of it, and it was just the fact that I had a thought that this could be a potential for the day, and it turned into a reality, and then everybody enjoyed, you know, it was a little exciting, and some people really freaked out, which I felt bad for, but, you know, none of us were in danger at that moment.
You are in California.
Yeah.
And we're used to over-exaggerated weather conditions.
Yeah, but that was nowhere near exaggerated.
It was not. Yeah, I saw the videos.
It was pulling stuff into it. It was trying to pull the awnings in at first, into it, the canopies, and then it was pulling garbage up into it out of the cans and stuff.
Yeah, Don had a really good video he showed me where you see just stuff rolling around. The sky's brown. It's like, oh, that's a real tornado.
And some Midwestern friend of mine tried to call it a dust devil. And I said, no, young lady, that was an F3 tornado. No doubt about it.
Yeah, that was exciting for you guys. I missed it because I wasn't here, but I saw it on the video, and knowing the track well and the area, everything just went brown, and you saw the funnel cloud that turned into a twister. And
yeah. Well, it was thermal uprising, because it wasn't like normal tornadoes where you see them come down to the ground and then they get brown. This one started on the ground and rolled up, and that was what the difference was. So it was that was my defining moment, and actually, to me, it feels like everybody bonded really strongly because of it.
Yeah. Even Kyle Martin said he lives in Texas.
Yep.
He's a Texan.
He's never seen one before.
He's never seen one, which actually shocks me more than having a tornado. Is like, wait, you live in Texas?
Totally got me, because every time I go down through Texas and Oklahoma, we got tons of pictures of stuff rolling out in the fields. You got tornadoes running down the road and all kinds of stuff. So it's pretty interesting. And we appreciate you, Jason, for what you do.
I just show up when I hear when there's food.
Yeah, Jason, I just want to make a big shout out, of course, to George Barrows.
Yeah,
you know, he's the main guy to put all these guys together.
Yeah,
and if it wasn't for him, he's.
Is George and Bob behind the scenes and
Bob
really trying to?
What's really funny is Bob was on Facebook and he got a hold of Mario Patino. He used to work for Track Magic.
Okay,
and I guess he was. He said, "Oh, who else can I get a hold of that would know Track Magic?" And since I was on Facebook, he brought up my name, and so Bob got a hold of me, and so he started asking me all kind of questions, and
you stayed in touch with George, and
well, I keep in touch with everyone all the time.
Yeah,
I've been around. I knew all the factory guys since they showed up. Back in the day, and I was friends with all of them. We always kept in touch, and. But I just want to, put George's name out there. He's just so important. For Track Magic.
And George, I don't know how this whole thing came together. My contact point was Bob and that Track Magic owners group.
Really, and Bob, I believe, is instrumental in making Track Magic again, because he's taken the interest in it. He works hard at bringing everybody together. There's other people involved, I know. That there are a lot of other people involved, but when I get to the meat and potatoes of what's going on with the Track Magic group, really it seems like Bob is the guy.
Yeah.
And of course, Jason LaPointe, purchasing and doing all the right things with all the trademark registrations so that we can have our stickers, and we can have shirts, and we can have stuff that didn't exist for so many years. Those two people, from my standpoint, and not knowing much about what happened after I left Track Magic, those two people stand out in my mind, and as well as I know George from back then too, but seems like the right now these two guys are really making this happen for all of us, including newbies like me who really do enjoy road racing but don't have that opportunity. They gave